We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. And will you all please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, the pastor did not show, so we're going to have a moment of silence. And during this moment of silence, please keep the family of Dorothy Pat Rudd in your prayers. Miss Pat Rudd, she passed away last week. She was a citizen here in the city of St. Cloud, dear friend of ours, World War II veteran, amazing woman, never going to be another one like her. So. Thank you. And please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Robertson?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Here.
Councilmember Paul?
Here.
Councilmember Urban?
Here.
Councilmember Fletcher?
Here. All right, thank you. And City Manager, do you have any updates for us?
Yes, thank you. I'd like to ask for Police Chief Gerke to make a presentation to the City Council regarding our school zone speed camera program.
Okay, do we have to add that to the agenda, or just he can just come up?
It's just a presentation.
Just presentation? All right. Police Chief Doug Gerke, please come to the podium.
Good evening, Council. Doug Gerke, Police Chief. I have to give, in accordance with the program, the school zone safety program specifically, and Florida State statute, I'm required to give you a briefing on the program itself for the year end for September 30th. So it would be year ending fiscal year 25, and October 1 starts a new year, so you'll get another similar briefing next year around the same time. So as an update, I just wanted to reaffirm where our school speed zone enforcement locations are. And they're at the St. Cloud High School, St. Cloud Middle School, Michigan Avenue Elementary, Canoe Creek K through 8, St. Cloud Elementary, and Lakeview Elementary. This photo that you're looking at is actually on our website, so all of our residents can actually know where these are and when they're operating. So May 7th, and it's kind of an odd time, but May 7th is when our cameras actually went live. If you recall, we turned them on the first week of May, and it ran for about 3 weeks up until the end of the school year through September 30th, which would have actually ended the fiscal year. During that time frame, there were 5,085 violations issued. There were 30 violations that were contested. 15 of those were upheld, and 0 violations were dismissed. Of those violations issued, 912 became uniform traffic citations. And the violations that were paid, and again, this is through September 30th, were 2,341. So I just want to give you a quick breakdown, because this is always a question of how the violation, the $100 violation that is collected, where this goes. So for every $100 that is collected, $20 goes to the Florida Department of Revenue's General Fund. $60 goes to the City of St. Cloud, and that's to administer the speed detection system in school zones and other public safety initiatives. And that includes the cost of the program itself to have the vendor. So the money that does come in from us, we do pay back out the vendor each month. $3 goes to the Department of Law Enforcement Criminal Justice Standards and Training Trust Fund. $12 goes to the school district. That must be used for security initiatives, student transportation, or to improve the safety of students' walking conditions. Funds from this amount would also be shared with charter schools based on a formula. And $5 goes to the school crossing guard recruitment and retention program. So in total, this is the collected funds. For the Department of Revenue, we sent $46,820. For the City of St. Cloud, $140,460. The Crossing Guard program received $11,705. The school board received $28,092, and the Law Enforcement Criminal Justice Standards and Training Fund got $7,023. So, and again, in accordance with fiscal year 2025 and the annual summary, we did issue 5,085 violations, 30 were contested, 15 upheld, 0 dismissed. Total of 912 violations resulted in uniform traffic citations. And again, these are the actual numbers that were sent back out as fiscal year end. 2,341 violations were paid, generating funds distributed as follows. It's on your screen. I'd already gone through it. And there is a variance between the violations issued and paid. They are still, some of them are still pending. So some of them have actually been paid since then in the October months. But again, I was required to go up through September 30th. So I will report on that next year as well. And that is the end, and I'm willing to take any questions you may have.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
You know, I support this. I think this whole council supports this program. It's an amazing program. I think the citizens support it, so please continue to do great things for our community.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and do we have any presentations? There are no presentations at this time. And let's go ahead and move on to the consent agenda. Next portion of tonight's meeting is the consent agenda, which contains items that have been determined to be routine and uncontroversial. If anyone in the audience wishes to address a particular item on the consent agenda, now is your opportunity for you to do so. Additionally, if staff or members of the City Council wish to speak on a consent item, they have the same opportunity. Council, do you have any items you'd like to pull? With that, can I get a motion?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion approved. Councilmember Urban.
Second.
Second from Councilmember Paul. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Councilmember Erber?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher?
Aye.
Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, next up, we have the Citizens Forum. Any person who desires to comment on any item not on this agenda is provided this opportunity to address the City Council. Each person is requested to complete a sign-in form to be provided to the presiding officer prior to or soon as practical thereafter the person addresses the council. And first up, we have Miss Claudia Dundas from the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Claudia Dundas, and I am the regent.
Time's up.
And I am the regent of the Joshua Stevens chapter, Daughters of American Revolution, here in St. Cloud. For those of you who are unfamiliar with DAR, we are a nonprofit, non-political women's service organization founded in 1890. Our membership is made up of women who have proven to be direct lineal descendants of a Revolutionary War patriot. Our mission is simple and long-standing: promoting historic preservation, education, and patriotism. Our local chapter is active throughout the community in projects that honor our nation's history, its veterans, and strengthen civic understanding. For the United States, as the United States approaches America 250, the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, our chapter would like to contribute a permanent historical marker honoring the patriots of the Revolutionary War, the men and women whose courage and sacrifice secured Americans' independence. We are here tonight to request the city's permission to place a permanent marker, and we would like to present 2 placement options for your consideration. Option 1 is our original proposal, placing a marker at the Mount Peace Cemetery within the memorial area where many of our community celebrations already take place. We remain fully supportive of this option. However, after further reflection and conversation with community partners, another idea has emerged and may be better to serve the visibility and purpose of this memorial. Option 2 is to place a marker at the St. Cloud Veterans Park. There are several reasons this may be more appropriate of a location. Although we honor them, there are no Revolutionary War veterans buried at Mount Peace, making the cemetery a symbolic rather than historic match. Veterans Park already contains other historical markers, and the Revolutionary War Patriot marker would naturally complement and enhance the educational value of the space. The park provides significantly greater visibility, allowing our residents and visitors to encounter and reflect on the nation's founding. And finally, placement in the park would allow the city and the DAR to coordinate a meaningful unveiling during a Soldier City Sunday event, potentially the Sunday before 4th of July, 2026, directly connecting it to the America 250 celebration. It would be a powerful moment for the community, the unveiling of the Revolutionary War Patriot Memorial during the semi-quincentennial year. This evening, we respectfully request the council's approval to place a historical marker within the Veterans Park or Mount Peace, while our chapter would, of course, welcome any financial support from the city. If they wish to contribute, the DAR will assume full responsibility of the cost of the marker, which is approximately $2,500 to $4,000 based on the installation. Thank you for your consideration and for your commitment to preserving and honoring the history of our community and our nation. We would be honored to partner with the City of St. Cloud on this America 250 initiative. I did present you each with a proposal as well as the image itself, if you could share the image of what the marker would be. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, does anybody have any questions for Ms. Claudia?
Just that I would be supportive of this. I think it's a very nice tribute and would be great for the America 250.
Mayor, I'm in support of it also. The recognition, where would it be more recognized? Where would it be better seen? I know Soldier Cities are having their Sundays now at the Veterans Park, and I think that draws traffic. Either was going to be good. I just asked the council, where would it best be suited for more people to be able to recognize it and see it? I think it'd be the park myself, but I thought Mount Peace too when you first had started, but again, people go there usually to go directly to a site, and this way it'll be part of the thing. I would just ask the pleasure of the council to consider which one they think. I truly believe the park would be the best area for it.
Yeah, I like Veterans Park, being that we're drawing, people there on Sundays as well. So I think Veterans Park is a great opportunity to have it placed there.
Yeah, I agree as well. City Manager, we've spoken about this. Is that something that you want us to go ahead and give direction on that now? I mean, if that's or do you want to get the recommendation from the Veterans Council? How do we want to?
Well, excuse me. I guess that's up to the city council. So earlier, we were discussing, city staff has drafted a policy regarding markers like this. As we seem to receive more, they're different sizes. We were recommending that we start coming up with a standard. And so we've drafted a uniform policy, and we thought that it would be appropriate to have the Veterans Committee review that policy, make recommendations to that policy, and potentially that the Veterans Council be the organization that approves markers that go in Veterans Park. But that's up to the pleasure of the council. That was the idea that we shared. We've already drafted a policy to take to the Veterans Council if the city council would like to do that, or we can go ahead and proceed with this at this time.
And we can go ahead and voice our support of that, and then we can let them know, right, the Veterans Council, that. Is that appropriate, Dan?
Well, I think you have to decide who's going to be the final determining factor. If you want to delegate the authority to the Veterans Council, you certainly can do that. But this council has the authority right now to basically say, we're okay with it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Because the Veterans Council essentially is a recommendation council to us.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's kind of going backwards with this. I think we go ahead and just give the thumbs up on it, and then the policy can be worked on, and then every recommendation from that Veterans Council comes right back to us for approval. Is that works? Okay. Can we go ahead and, do we take a motion on that for the?
I think we got direction on that.
Got
It's-
direction, okay.
It's okay.
Is that good, Claudia?
Thank you.
Yep, and I support it. We've spoken about this.
Thank
It's
you so
amazing.
much. I
Thank you very
appreciate
much
it.
for everything you do.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. right, next we have Joshua Krentz.
My name's Joshua Krentz, 4771 Salamander Street, St. Cloud, Florida. I know most of you council from my years of volunteering with the city. Okay, good evening, Mayor and Council and city staff. I first want to extend my sincere congratulations on another successful annual tree lighting event. It was a beautiful event that brought our community together, and I want to recognize the hard work that went into making this such a memorable celebration for the city. Tonight, I would like to bring forward my concern and an opportunity regarding how the city engages with local veteran-owned businesses. As many of you may know, a previous ordinance and directive was in place to prioritize local businesses in the procurement process. I understand that it was ultimately removed because of added time and complexity. It showed slowed operations. I fully respect that the city must balance efficiency, fairness. However, St. Cloud is the home to many talented, qualified local veteran-owned businesses that deeply invest their success in our community. When the cities partner with the businesses that's sorry, I need to drink water. When the city partners with these businesses, the benefits stay here in the city. Supporting local jobs strengthens, thank you so much, strengthens the tax base and reinforces the sense of community pride that defines St. Cloud. With that in mind, I would like to respectfully suggest that the city leadership staff explore and develop new directives to encourage the city staff to utilize local veteran-owned businesses whenever feasible, and when doing so, does not implement the procurement process. This approach also engages with our mayor and our city council's standing position on continued commitment to honoring veterans and reinforcing St. Cloud as Soldier City. Supporting a veteran-owned business and other meaningful ways can uphold the mission, and not just by symbolically, but through action, and define those who have served. Many cities across Florida have successfully implemented similar encouragement policies, and they have seen success without adding additional burden. I believe St. Cloud can do the thing. Thank you for your time and service to the community and our community's commitment to making St. Cloud a place where local businesses can thrive, and appreciate your consideration of this request. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Joshua. All right, next up we have from Osceola Chain of Lake CDD Supervisor George Medeiros.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council members, Deputy Mayor, Madam City Manager, the gentleman City Attorney, and Madam City Clerk.
Hey, George, can we get your name and address for the record, please, sir?
Yes. My name is George Medeiros. I'm a supervisor with the Osceola Chain of Lakes Community Development District, and we encompass the Hanover Lakes community. I am here today to, first and foremost, to speak about the conveyance of the roads, which is now in its final process. Would like to say thank you for the process finally coming to a head, but also would like to say that my involvement as a supervisor in this process was absolutely and positively unnecessary due to the fact that our district staff tried countless times for this to occur at the staff level. And it was only upon the fact that they were unable to communicate this process clearly with the city, meaning city staff, and came to a head, in other words, came to a situation where the process was moving no further, even though they were presenting city staff with the same documents I presented you, it required my involvement. My involvement should have never happened. I should have never had to email you. I should have never had to do anything other than get a briefing at the Board of Supervisors meeting. So I wanted to share that specific fact with you. My involvement was specifically and utterly unnecessary. And that's why I'm here today, because it required me to work an assignment that was unnecessary, that could have been handled at the staff level. I still came to speak to you, so you can understand that whenever I take a project to its end, and I see it through, and that I'm only going to bring you concerns and or items that I have thoroughly vetted and made sure that I'm bringing you facts. So with that, I wanted to thank Councilmember Urban for calling me back, as well as Councilmember Paul, Deputy Mayor Gilbert, and unfortunately, Councilmember Fletcher was unable to get back to me for reasons of his own. So with that, I'm coming down to my last 10 seconds. I want to thank you, and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes, sir. Thank you, George. And it was a pleasure speaking with you as well early on in this process. No, that's all right, sir. I'm just commenting. I know it was a difficult situation where some of the roads had been conveyed, some weren't. It was a convoluted deal. So thank you for stepping in on behalf of the Osceola-Chamblake CDD and ensuring that the process was complete with staff. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Next up, we have the Reverend Dr. Norma Barbosa. You don't look like Norma.
I
You're
know
Bruce.
I'm not the Reverend, but
So is Norma not going to speak, Bruce?
she's going to be speaking second.
No,
I
understand.
just wanted to make the introduction, then she can come in with some other items.
Okay, Bruce, we're going to do you first. Go ahead, name
Okay,
and
thank you.
address for the record, sir.
Bruce Taylor, 3121 Settlers Trail. Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and city staff. I appreciate the time that you guys gave us over the summer and fall with all the meetings and time that's spent going forward and trying to discuss this project on the JJCC. So we're kind of at a loss right now. We don't really know where to go forward, what to do. I know that we had a meeting a couple of weeks ago. So I'm just going to go ahead and read off from this email on what we were supposed to be proceeding forward. So this is from Veronica Miller, and I reached out to her to kind of discuss where we're at with this. So this is her email to me. Good afternoon. During the conditional use public hearing, there were concerns raised regarding the vehicle stacking on Eastern Avenue, parking, and if the site would be able to meet the land development code standards. The City Council discussed the need to review a site plan, and conditional use was continued until the applicant could prepare a site plan for the City Council's review during the conditional use public hearing. The previous time the request was made by the applicant to put this on the agenda without the site plan. Staff discussed with the city attorney. Unfortunately, staff does not have the authority to put this item back on the agenda. The two ways could be reheard are, number one, a council member can request that the item be placed on the agenda based on the initial application that was continued. Since it was so long ago, it would have to be re-advertised at the applicant's expense, which the owner is fine with that to go ahead and re-advertise it. And the second one is applicant could file a new updated application, pay a new fee, and go through the process from the beginning. Well, the second item won't be necessary because I've got an extension for the conditional use case, and it's good through April 29, 2026. So that should allow us enough time to get this heard for the conditional use to move forward and be voted upon if you guys are going to be agreeable to that. So at this time, I would like to invite the owner, Norma, Dr. Norma, to come up here, and she has some items about the stacking and the traffic, which she actually had a couple of videos to review with y'all, which I don't think that was allowed to be because of the time constraints. But I'll let her come up here. But thank you for the time, and have a good evening.
Yes, sir, Bruce. I will allow her to come up here. This is public comment. Thank you.
But
Thank you.
Mayor, if I can make a comment real quick?
Yes, sir.
So this matter is a conditional use permit application, which I think Mr. Taylor just mentioned. They want to have it heard back before you at an advertised public meeting. It was not advertised for a conditional use permit application. So any information regarding things that were discussed when this first came through, parking, stacking, the operation of the site, are really inappropriate tonight. They'd have to be discussed at the time that the public hearing is appropriately advertised, because it is a quasi-judicial proceeding.
Yes, sir. But they are able to speak during public comment, right?
Yes, but
Yes, sir.
I want to limit.
About discussion. Yes, sir.
Right, yes.
Yep. Reverend Dr. Norma Barbosa.
Good evening. God bless you. I'm not as tall the other. God bless you all this evening, and thank you for hearing us once again. This request is to bring back the conditional use request after 1 year. And I brought some videos and some pictures. Unfortunately, I didn't know I had to bring it 10 minutes or 15 before the meeting. But I think that maybe I can give it to someone and you can watch it in considering bringing back the conditional use before the site plan submission. Being that I've been a pastor here at St. Cloud for 14 years, the Reverend Dr. Norma Barbosa, JJCC Assembly of God, and I have a academy, 11 years, JJCC Bilingual Christian Academy. We serve the low to middle income. We're all based on scholarships. I myself help these students who come into our hands to be able to graduate from families that have never graduated, have never gone to college, and that's what we're doing at this facility. And the reason why we are looking to expand to build another building alongside of our property is to have that use as for a church so that we can grow into our school, which only allows us really realistically 90 students at a time. To grow into 120. And that's already been approved, was approved 2 years ago for us to have 120 students. However, the facility is too small. So now we want to build a church building so that we can serve our community, our own community in the families, amen, bilingual families and all families that are looking to come in, up to 120 students that will fit and be accommodated in a rightful way. So that's why I'm here. I'm not asking for myself, I'm asking for these families. Right now we have almost 90 students. I cannot afford to bring any more in because of the size of the building, and I invite you all to come and see us. And again, we have a special needs school. I'm alumni from UCF. I specifically have 4 endorsements through the state of Florida for autism spectrum, for reading endorsement, for ESOL endorsement. So we're serving, and also a special needs education, exceptional education. We have students with autism in our facility. We have students with ADHD, with so many needs, special needs, and we are serving them in 4 areas, not only academic, but also spiritual, social, and emotional. So this is why I'm coming back to you. I'm not asking for us, I'm asking for these families so that we can continue to grow. Since we've already been here for 14 years, ministering as a pastor, and also 11 years as an administrator and principal. We're doing something good for our community. Our families are happy. Most of our graduates, we have moved them into UCF. There's some of them are in Full Sail University, some of them in OTAC. So we're doing something good for our families, and I just need some help, some push from some council members so that we can continue with this project.
All right. Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you.
Would anyone else in the audience like to speak during the Citizens Forum? Gordon? Are you waving your hand? All right, take your time.
Mayor, may I ask, was there any direction on that last item,
Which last item?
the JJCC?
That was Citizens Forum. There's no direction on that.
So continue with the previous process, that they can complete a site plan, and once it's completed, it can be returned to the city council.
I mean, we've never had gone through this kind of a process where we just listen during the citizens forum and then give direction.
So I believe she was making a special request. I think what she was asking was for the city council to allow it to come back without the condition of the site plan having been met.
So Mayor, if I may, this one is very unusual, because the previous time this was in front of the city council, and Mayor and Councilwoman Paul, I don't believe you were on the council when this came back before at that point. The direction that staff was given, to the applicant and to staff was, do not bring the conditional use permit back until without a complete site plan for the site. That's what we've been operating under. So the request now is, does this current council want to change that and allow for the conditional use permit to come back without the completed site plan? And if you don't, we'll keep the direction exactly how it was then, but we do need some.
Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, I'm just a little confused because prior to the citizens forum, Dan had spoke that we're here to listen and no comments or questions, and then we just heard it, and now you're asking for a comment or question. I just thought it was.
Well, if I may,
citizens
Mr.
forum.
Gilbert, what my reference was to this particular facts related to the reason why you would grant a conditional use permit. Right, that's what I was saying. It is a quasi-judicial proceeding. The last time this was in front of the city council, there were residents that came forward that had made comments regarding it. Those folks are entitled by law to have the opportunity to discuss the conditional use permit. So that's why I made that comment before about those issues. So, I mean, if the council is okay with the direction where it is, maybe the applicant will have some direction, we can do that. It's a tough spot, it's unusual.
Is it unusual, the process that we've been going down with this project?
No, the city council has previously asked for applicants to have additional information before they came back and made a decision on something like a conditional use. The applicant has received the city planning department, actually all city staff's DRC comments on the site plan. They have not responded meeting those comments, which is why there's no approved site plan to bring you at the time.
So
At this time.
let me get clear on this. So they're asking for a conditional use prior to a site plan? Conditional use approval prior to a site plan? So how would we know if there's enough parking?
That's the exact point.
Because
the
that
previous
is a
council-
major issue
that's
in
the-
that area.
That's the exact point the previous council had there.
Okay. I'm good with continuing down the same path with ensuring that we have a site plan, understanding the parking situation prior to approving a conditional use on that. That's just my view. Okay. Folks?
It was my understanding, and I had met with the applicant, I had also met with staff on this particular issue. It was my understanding that staff had sent comments that had not been addressed. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, I would like those comments to be addressed before we bring that back into a conditional use hearing.
I agree with Councilmember Urban as well, because the comments, I sat down with staff earlier in this week and they shared about the comments not addressed, so I think they should be addressed before we make a decision.
Okay.
We have
Continue
direction.
on.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey there.
Give me 1 second, Gordon. We're going to get your notes here that you're handing out here.
I just did that because I didn't know how your AV stuff was working out over in this facility.
Yes, sir, Gordon. Can we get your name and address for the record, sir?
Yeah, it's Gordon Brown, 900 12th Street, St. Cloud. I just put this together, just thoughts that make me nuts, when I'm rolling around, and, maybe it's been gone over before, I have apologized. But one of the ones, I'm on New York Avenue most of the time, and you'd be amazed how fast cars go there. And I hate stop signs, but I truly think it would make sense to consider the idea of putting stop signs like every 4 streets and, slow people down a little bit. I'd love speed cameras and all that, but I think the stop signs might be a start. It wouldn't cost a whole lot. Second idea is, this is a major one to me. I'm fascinated, when you have your fairs, they put up signs everywhere saying, road closed, road closed, road closed. And as an outsider, you know, you're a tourist market, I have no idea why it's closed. I go, well, they must have a broken sewer line, so I'll leave. You know, again, can you come up with the money and say, road closed because of a fair we're having or something like that? Seemed obvious to me, but sometimes things aren't so obvious. Pet peeve I have that I'd love to be involved with, but again, I'm still an outsider here. There's so many ordinances that just got me really spooked. Like, it's almost like St. Cloud thinks we're more of an HOA than a real city. And one of them is, did you know you're only allowed 3 pets? I mean, you know, that allows the code enforcement to weaponize if they wanted to say, oh, you had puppies and you know, you didn't get a permit to have puppies, you know, stuff like that. You say it's silly, but the last couple weeks ago, my property was basically hit with like 6 things because, again, I personally think it's a mechanism to weaponize things. Can you remove a lot of these ordinances so if they're just silly, you know, is St. Cloud really want to think of themselves as an HOA? And finally, no, secondly, and in a previous meeting, this is another one that to me just makes sense. I really would love to see that map idea I told you about. And the last meeting you said, oh, Hometown's covering that. And I went down to Hometown, and you're right, they are actually developing such a map. It's not ready yet, but they're working on it. But either way, you guys don't refer to Hometown at all. And as a tourist, if I wanted to find what to do, how in the hell would I type in Hometown St. Cloud to find this map? You know, you got to have somebody that's smart enough to put a link to Hometown on your webpage. And then finally, to the lawyer.
You can continue.
Any progress on the old hotel?
Well, sir, you got to speak to council. You're speaking with council here, sir.
All right. Okay. Speak to council. Has any progress been made on that? On the old hotel issue? Since 2 months ago. I'm going to keep bringing it up because I think.
No, yes, sir, and you have every right to, but this is public comment, it's not a Q&A. But I will address, I don't know what Hometown is, and maybe I'm just naive to that.
I think it means Main Street.
No, I'm talking about, Main Street, sorry. I even looked it up on the web.
That could be why we don't say Hometown.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, I'm still an outsider. No, the one I'm talking about is the old hotel issue is, to me, I would put that as job 1 if I was king.
If you stick around till the end of the meeting, I've got some comments on the hotel, sir.
Great. And the lawyer said he was also working on anything. Have you?
Sir, it's not a Q&A. It's just public comment.
That.
Thank
How
you.
do you ever have a Q&A in this town?
We don't have it during public comment section, sir. You can pick up the phone and talk to us one-on-one.
It is very hard. I've tried.
I've spoken to you. You catch me in the parking lot. All right, Gordon, thank you, sir.
All right.
All right, anyone else in the audience like to speak during the public comment? Citizens Forum. Anybody but Betty. We love you, Betty.
Chris, you told me if I was nice, I could have more than...
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that, Betty.
Thank you. You told me if I was nice, I could have more than 3 minutes. Well, nice is not part of my characteristic. Naughty, but I'll be nice. Christmas parade. What more do I need to say, really? What an awesome event. And on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, we want to thank you once again for partnering with us, for participating, and helping to make this another great event. Think of this, the 62nd annual Christmas parade. That's older than most of you sitting up there, almost as old as I am too. 62 years we have been doing this parade. We had 100 entries with a waiting list of about 10 or 15 more that wanted to be in it, and over 2,000, of which you were part of, participants in the actual parade. The rough estimate we've had so far is there were about 14,000 plus people watching the parade. You saw the parade, the spectators as you were on the route. They were 5 and 6 deep. I know there at the production area, it was even more than that. So what a turnout. Yeah, at the Chamber, our committee, we start in February working diligently on this and preparing for the 63rd. But that's only the beginning. The parade is truly a community event, and that's what I want to stress tonight. 99% of the entries in this year's parade were local businesses, schools, and organizations. These are people who spent their time, their money, and their effort to prepare for it. We start getting calls in July. What's the theme going to be? We want to start planning our float. That's the anticipation. The volunteers who help us man the barricades and do many, many other services, those are your local residents donating their time. And then, of course, that massive crowd that comes out to watch. You see these people, I don't know if you took the time to really, really watch, but I do down there at the production area. Standing 5, 6 deep, people shoulder to shoulder, strangers, total strangers, but they're talking to each other, they're smiling, they're laughing, they're singing along with the music, and oh yeah, helping pick up the candy when it comes by. But it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. That is one morning, I can honestly say, in all the years I've been doing this, that everybody unites, and it truly is a community effort. It's not only a community effort, it's a community involvement. And that, my friend, is the spirit of St. Cloud. Chief Corky? I have to rattle his cage. First of all, where's that
Betty
Christmas
can do
jacket?
everything.
This is such a vital part of our parade, and I'm trying not to be emotional, but that's how deeply I feel about the safety and the protection that Chief and his staff, his officers, give to us. 2 of them are, well, several of them are on my parade committee. They every month meet with us diligently and help to plan and foresee whatever might be coming up. The day of the parade, it's amazing. They're all over the place. They're like ants. And you don't know what a good feeling of security that is. Think about it. When you've got 15,000 plus people gathered in, 10 blocks, 12 blocks, that is a massive endeavor. And these gentlemen, they solve the problems that arise. They take care of them immediately. And the bicycle patrol, they're my babies. They ride that route the entire parade, going back and forth, making sure we don't have any unwelcome or unauthorized guests in the parade or in the spectators. I don't know if you understand, but safety is a major, major concern when this comes up. I applaud you.
Thank you.
I can't clap, but I'll love it.
Not necessary.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Give him a hand, because he and his guys, I mean, that is one of the most important parts of this parade. I'd also like to recognize a few of your city employees who help us with the parade. Mark Garcia from the Traffic Division. Bless his heart, he works all year long, and then in the middle of the night, he's out putting out barricades. And Richard Tonks from the Fire Department. Oh, he's my man.
He's in the back right there.
Yeah, I've been talking to him. And Rose Tesserman, the employees from Parks and Rec, they help us keep our I's dotted and T's crossed on the legalities so we don't have to come back here and be reprimanded. And of course, J.B. Miller. Jay, are you available?
Jay's behind the scenes
Behind
here.
us.
He's hiding. But Jay and his staff, they do an amazing job. There he is, peeking through.
There he is.
They do an amazing professional job filming the parade and producing the video, which you can watch on YouTube, and it's on there now. When you're in the parade, it's really difficult for you to see all the other entries and grasp the entire concept of what is going on. And you also miss our pre-parade performance, that's hard to say, that starts about an hour before the parade kicks off at the lakefront. These are local talents. Chris Burns organizes students from the schools to come and perform, and they are amazing. And then, of course, there's Keith Ronan with his saxophone. The people are singing along, and you miss it. So I urge you to go back and watch YouTube. In fact, it's a great way to take your family and sit down and watch a Christmas movie of which you are actually in. But Jay, he's amazing how he does the video and he choreographs with the MCs, with the floats. It's an amazing task, and I just want a special thanks to him. And finally, my personal thankfulness to Dirk Webb, our chairman, our CEO at the Chamber, to Stephanie, and to Heather, how they help us all year long. They support us, they encourage us. Sometimes when it gets tough, they say, you gotta keep going, you gotta keep going. But they really are such a blessing to this city, and I hope you realize that. Just one last thing. I hope you will take the time to watch the video, and as you watch it, make notes of which companies and organizations are in the parade, schools are in the parade. And then when you're out and about and you go visit them, thank them. Thank them for being in the parade, because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't have a parade. They are the parade. So encourage them and thank them. So again, thank you for your support, for all the help that we get. And let's move on to 63rd Annual Parade.
All right, Betty, you did an amazing job, you and Robert and the whole chamber staff, great partners of the city. I want to note, you know, I went through the parade twice. I don't know if you saw me. I was going to catch up with you at the end, but we got down to the lakefront, and I told everybody, oh, I'll see you downtown. And the St. Cloud High School marching band grabbed me and said, you want to walk with us? I said, sure. And those poor kids, they weren't wearing their uniforms because the room flooded, and I guess their uniforms got ruined for the day. So they walked in their plain clothes, and I got to walk with the drum major, dancing all the way up to downtown, back to the lakefront again. So
Yeah, we saw you twice.
yeah. There's a lot of surprised looks, like, wait a minute, what's he doing out there again?
Well, that was me. I thought, wait a minute, am I missing something here? One other thing, we should be really thankful for the beautiful weather we always have for the parade. I've been chairing this committee for well over 15 years now, and I can only remember one time that we had rain, and it was just a mist. The only thing that happened was the bands couldn't play because they didn't want to get their instruments. But that's something definitely to be thankful for, too.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Betty. Would anyone else in the audience like to speak during the Citizens Forum? All right, we'll move on to public hearings. Will the clerk please read item number 1?
Public hearing for resolution number 2025-171R, a resolution of the City Council of the City of St. Cloud, Florida, granting a conditional use for a child care center in the Highway Business HB zoning district on the plus-minus 5.94 acres of land known as Adventure World Kids Project, CNU 25-00007, located at 1386 and 1388 South Narcousie Road, as described in the body of this resolution.
You don't look like Melissa. Hi, Marcos.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Yes, you're right. You're stuck with the junior varsity team tonight. Melissa is out on a very deserved vacation for the week. This is Resolution 2025-171R, CNU 00007, and it is the request of a conditional use for Adventure World Kids. The future land use for this property is commercial. First of all, the property is located, or generally located, on the northwest side of Narcousie and Rummel. And it's approximately 5.94 acres for the whole site. They are one of the tenants on the site. And the property currently has a future land use of commercial and zoning of highway business. They have a proposed conditional use request for a child care center in HB zoning. The proposed operation times will be from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and with a maximum of 60 students. Here we have a general location of the site. We're looking on the in the highlighted area. It will be the center base of the back building where you see a kind of a center courtyard. This is just a general location. That's the existing future land use. They are along the edge of some of our incorporated areas. And the back side where you see the hatch and the south, those are commercial and LDR in the county. This shows their current zoning. And the applicant, understandably, they're not the typical developer. So they had some difficulty to convey some of the request or aspects of the request. So I prepared this slide with assistance from they described to us what they wanted to do. The exhibit that was provided with their application was incomplete and did not quite convey what they wanted to do. But what you're seeing here is the proposed circulation pattern for drop-offs. Anybody coming from the south side will have to do a U-turn. From the north side, you just take a right into their property. They have some parking spaces that are usually available along the frontage of the property, and they will take a right turn to go out on Narcousie. The area in question here is the two bays along the center of these two buildings. And we'll talk about the fence area in a second. This is what they currently have. The fence itself is not part of this request. However, it's one of the conditions of approval, and we'll talk about in a minute. So the approval of the request has received a recommendation on or before the 11th of December, and staff recommends approval of the resolution 2025-171R with 4 conditions. The first condition is that this conditional use request does not constitute approval of the actual concept plan, and any changes will require approval of a site development plan and any other requirements of the code. This conditional use is for a child care center subject to Land Development Code 1333A, E, and it's valid only while the initial certificate of use remains active. If this certificate expires or any changes in business ownership happen, the new operator would have to require new conditional use. For as long as the use is permitted for the longest the use permitted here continues, And in the event of stacking or standing or any other issues with safety or traffic in the public right-of-way, or any other issues that interfere with the flow of vehicular traffic as determined by the city, the resolution may be brought back to the city council in front of you to review and consider if any additional conditions to address traffic issues will be required, or if the revocation of those rights will be applicable. And finally, upon approval of this conditional use, but prior to the issuance of any certificate of use, a site variance pursuant to Section 2310 of the Land Development Code will be required, and the applicant will also be required to obtain a fence permit for the existing fence that you just saw in those pictures that is unpermitted at this point. Now, the variance in question is for the open space minimum for the whole development, because that currently acts as the overall, as part of the overall open space requirement. So once they fence it, it becomes a private area. On 18th of November, the Planning Commission recommended approval with the conditions stated by staff, and tonight we're requesting approval of Resolution 2025-171R with the conditions. And I'm available if you have any questions.
Yeah, Marcos, can you go back to the areas that's going to be fenced off there?
Mm-hmm.
Is that's in between the buildings, not behind?
It's in between the buildings, is correct.
Do we have that clear backup? The one I looked at
Oh, and I
prior in the
apologize,
backup
you
was
might not
clear.
have that in your staff report. I prepared that because the exhibits that they had on the staff report were not sufficient to explain what's going on. So I have included that. I'll be happy to give you copies of that too. I don't know, Dan, if...
Yeah, I think the one we had in our packets showed the
That
fenced
is what's,
area extending
that is incorrect.
to the wetland.
Yes, and that's why I made this exhibit, because it was unclear to me in all prior discussions that we had. Our understanding was that they were taking it to the back of the property, and that is not the case, according to what the applicant told me. They are here so they can tell me if I'm being inaccurate here. But based on the understanding that I had with the applicant, or the conversation I had with the applicant, what's happening is that they're fencing the area that is in front. You can see on the back of that picture that there's some electrical equipment and mechanical equipment. I think the electrical panels might be towards the back, so they have to keep that away from the fence area for the kids. The kids are actually taken from the inside playgrounds to the outside through the back of the properties. There are no doors on the sides of both bays, so they're taken from the back and taken, there's a fence perimeter in the back as well, and they will be taken to this internal courtyard through the back of the building. They also stated that they will have to install a front gate in case of emergencies. If there's, God forbid, any emergencies, that the access can be made through the front of the playground.
All right, I guess I'm confused. I'm looking at fence already existing, so.
That is the unpermitted fence, yes. They have a,
They put in an unpermitted fence. so
yes,
that's why
exactly,
they're
and we're requiring them to bring that up to standards, not to up to standards, but after the fact permit.
If I could, the current site, that area where the fences are, my understanding is the current site that was approved include that, designated that as open space.
It's
So-
common open space, yes.
So they couldn't get a permit to fence it in because it's designated without changing the site plan the way it was approved. So that permit, that fence is unpermitted. Once, as was referenced, once the site variance is completed to change that from open space to basically dedicated space for this facility, then they'd be able to get a building permit for the fence. But if I do, Mayor, we do need to confirm, if the council's going to move forward, the Exhibit B to that resolution to make, because that identifies the space behind the building as being part of this. And so we'll need to confirm that before the council takes any action.
Yes, and the applicant is here, so they can
All
probably
right,
answer
would
that
the
question.
applicant like to speak on this item?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Yes, so the reason we had put the fence and the gates up is because in our lease with our landlord, he said that area is a part of the lease agreement. And so in order for us to have the kids out there in the courtyard area for playground, we wanted it to be safe and closed off, so that they don't escape or run away. And that's why we put it in, but now we're taking, the next steps in complying with the fence variance and permit. We're in the process of doing that.
Could you state your name, please?
Sorry.
ma'am?
Oh, I'm sorry. Name and address for the record.
Nicole Morales.
Thank you, Nicole.
My address of the
Yeah, you can put your
facility.
business address, that's fine.
Yeah, 1388 and 1386 South Narcousie Road, St. Cloud, Florida, 34771.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Marcos.
Yes,
So the four conditions on this?
sure. Would you like me to go back to
So one is, we're
those?
approving a condition to remedy the unpermitted fence?
Yeah, so the three first conditions are fairly standard. Those are the conditions that we usually put on, which means that this is not an approval for a use, and I'm gonna go back to them so you can see it. But they do not constitute, like you're approving the use, not necessarily, or not the plan, right? You're only giving the conditional use. It's not unlike what we just saw on the JJCC, right? So you're approving only the use. The conditional use is only for that child care center, and if ownership changes, if anything changes, they have to come back for a new conditional use. The third one is just that in the event that stacking or drop-off or any other safety issues happen, that is maybe revised or revoked. And then the fourth one is the one where we're giving two conditions here. It's one with two clauses, which means that before any kind of certificate of use is issued, that they have to solve the site plan issue with the open space through a variance. So they're going to have to request a variance for the open space that is going to be turning to their private space. And then the second one will be that then they have to bring the unpermitted work to code.
All right, these conditions only continue with this business, so if this
Yes.
business is not there anymore, then the conditions
Everything
are-
gets revoked, yes.
Okay.
Mayor, can I just confirm something from the applicant if we could? Could we confirm
Yep,
that area?
Nicole.
Because again,
Nicole,
Yes.
can you please come back
yeah,
up here, please?
I don't know, can we pull up the Exhibit B to the resolution? Does anybody have that?
We might need to, we don't have that on the overhead. So I will describe that that might be sufficient.
Well, so the Exhibit B to the resolution includes the area that's shown there in the fence, and then it includes in the right side of that picture, it includes an area behind the building up against the vegetation.
Yes.
That's what's in the Exhibit
Yes.
B.
So-
My understanding, hang on, my understanding is that that area behind the building is not part of the open space. I'm sorry, the designated space. I'm asking the applicant.
So may I just kind of slightly
Oh,
rephrase
yeah,
to
can
her,
you put it
Nicole,
up?
so I just want to confirm that the area that you guys using for the playground is only the area that is fencing today, right? Be- Because in your original exhibit, and that's why I called, that playground was extending to the back of the buildings. That's not the case.
No, he's correct. It's just in that area where the fence is.
The area between the buildings.
Between the buildings, yes, sir.
Okay, so if you can see where we're talking, but this is what was part of the application, and you can see that area that's identified as courtyard, that's the back of the building? Where it's on that map, can you see the picture?
Yeah, I can see it here too. Yeah, no, that's a typo because the courtyard for us is just in between the two
Okay.
buildings. They're not going in the back.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you. So we'll need to correct that exhibit. Thank you for clarifying.
So it's only the fenced-in area?
Yes,
right there,
if you,
between the yellow lines.
then what brought that to my attention, that particular exhibit, is that I was trying to figure out how big it was. And I saw the 25 feet, and the 25 feet is clearly just the space between the buildings. So that's when I called them and I asked.
Mr. Davidoff discovered that the other day.
So that is now included as rentable area?
It's a
leasable
common area today, right? So it's supposed to be used by all tenants of this development.
But now it's just for one?
Well, when the variance is, when they get the variance to the site, it will be no longer a common area, it'll be dedicated
It'll be
space
private.
for these for this use.
Okay.
And the landlord apparently is okay with that, so,
Yes.
the owner of the building.
Are the other renters okay with that?
That would be between the owner of the building and his other tenants, or her other tenants.
That's not our issue, right?
That's not your issue.
Okay. Because the owner of the property is the one allowed to come up here and...
Yes, so the owner of the property is going to have to participate in the variance request, at least to authorize it.
Yes, in fact, I believe that the owner, there were discussions with the owner to, that they will make this applicant the agent for that variance.
And if I may, I think I misspoke during the briefing and said that it would be a Board of Adjustment variance, and just verified that it's a City Council variance.
That comes back to us?
Yeah,
Yes.
it has different, the reason why you couldn't do it, there's different notice requirements and different application requirements that have to be made to that variance.
Okay. So the area behind the fence where is that a water line and the handicap sign, that is not included in this?
The area in front of the fence, between the fence and the sidewalk?
The concreted area, the area looks different than the photo.
Oh, yeah, that is, there's a difference in the age of these pictures. So the bottom, the inset picture that you're seeing is the existing condition today. So it has been paved. That grass in the front has been, paved.
Yeah, I
since.
think, and you answered my question earlier, it's just between the fenced areas.
Yes.
That's it, okay.
Just the area that you see in green on that inset.
Okay. Would anyone in the audience like to speak on this item? And City Council?
If I may.
Yes, sir. Deputy Mayor Gilbert.
Ms. Nicole, can you come back up, please? To get my understandings properly, when you were negotiating with the landlord, he said, hey, you gotta have a fence between these areas.
Yes,
You
sir.
said, okay, and you popped up a fence, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you know at that time that you can't put a fence up without a permit?
No, we didn't, because he said that's his property and he allowed it, and it's in the lease agreement as well,
Okay,
that it's included for the both buildings that we are renting.
okay. Yeah, I would try to somehow tell the landlord that that is for future reference. It needs permitting. The size of that fence that you're taking this one out, put it in, what's the height of that?
It's 6 feet and 4 feet. That's what we were supposed to put in. That was said by the city.
Okay. And I'm sure that you're going to have two entries and exits into that with a safety issue because these are going to be
Yes, sir.
little ones running around, I think,
Yes.
right? Okay. And then the last but not least, in the back there where they come out the back door, is any of that area going to be fenced, or is that open area that they can go into the woods and then go into that? Or I know they'll be supervised, I just
Yes.
wondered how they probably
Yeah.
escort them.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna have 5 teachers total for for both buildings, and then when they go out for recess time, we're gonna have there's like a rope for this case. When teachers take the kids out for playground and recess, and they all hold on to it, and literally the door from the back to the gate, like where the playground area is like a foot. Like it's so close.
I'm sorry I've asked you that, because that's an operational, and that's for you all. I just look at wetlands and escapees.
Oh, of course.
With
I'm
kids
big
and
on
things such
safety.
as that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so,
I have over 15 years of experience with early childhood education. I'm a pediatric sleep specialist, and I work in prenatal and postpartum, so it's a lot. I deal with HIPAA and telehealth, so I'm big on safety and all of the regulations.
I'm sure you're super well qualified, and again, that was just a question.
Thank you,
and
sir.
Thank
yeah.
you for answering that, and I yield back to you,
Of
Mayor.
course.
Thanks, sir.
So I do want to say, for the record, that I did tour this facility 10/13/2025. Nicole reached out and asked if I invited me to tour the facility, and I did go out. I seen all of this stuff that is listed. I did have one concern originally when we seen the back portion along the wooded area, but since that is not gonna be moving forward with that, my concern you guys had already addressed, as well as Deputy Mayor Gilbert, so.
Thank you, Councilman Paul.
All right, any other comments from council? And with that, can I get a motion?
If I may, I just would like to make one comment, Mr. Gilbert. There is, it doesn't show on this picture because it's slightly older, the aerial photo that you see here, but there is a fence against the back of the property. I believe that is 15 feet back setback, and so any little escapee would have to jump 2 fences.
Right, and I saw that. The picture in the background is a rendering, and the picture in front is an actual photo. And I saw the fence back there, that it's been done by the
Yes, sir.
landlord.
All right, I'm going to ask for a motion again.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved, Councilmember Paul.
Second.
Second from Deputy Mayor Gilbert. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher?
Aye.
Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Will the clerk please read item number 2?
Public hearing for resolution number 2025-172R, a resolution of the City Council of the City of St. Cloud, Florida, electing a timely preserve for the uniform method of collecting a non-ad valorem assessment levied in all parts of the City of St. Cloud for fiscal year 2026-27, beginning October 1, 2026, stating a possible need for such levy, providing for the timely mailing of this resolution as provided by general law and providing for effective date.
Jeff, I like how you walked up here earlier so you can have the long walk up.
Yeah,
The
I learned
dramatic.
my lesson after the last one. Get tired after that walk and out of breath. This is to conduct a preliminary public hearing to adopt a resolution as required by state law to preserve collection options for assessments if levied by declaring the intent to use the uniform method of collecting non-ad valorem assessment for fiscal year 26-27, and notify the Osceola County tax collector and property appraiser of such intent. So the legal authority for this is sections 197.3732 and 197.3635 in Florida statute, approving resolution 2025-172R preserves the city's statutory opportunity to use the uniform method of collection. State law requires this extensive advance notice of almost 1 year to the local tax collector if the city wants to use the uniform non-ad valorem revenue collection alternative. And this resolution does not require or authorize the imposition of any special assessment. And there is no cost associated with this item. Staff are recommending approval, and we're requesting that City Council approve Resolution 2025-172R. And if you have any questions?
All right, thank you, Coop. And anyone in the audience like to speak on this item? And any council discussion? Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved, Councilmember Urban.
Second.
Second from Deputy Mayor Gilbert. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher?
Aye.
Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And next up, we have council action. Will the clerk please read item number 1?
Request council's approval for the reduction of code enforcement lien filed in an amount of $142,755.70 in accrued fines to $5,000 to be paid within 30 days of the council meeting. Property address 1512 Connecticut Avenue.
Good evening again. Marcus Bastian, Deputy Director. apologize. This case started in October of 2023. The owner is, or was, Mr. Jamie D'Amico. The site address was 1512. And I need to give you a little bit of a background in this. I assume that you probably already are familiar with it, but Mr. Amico fell ill and battled with cancer for about 3 years. He unfortunately passed away in August of 2025. The first citation, inspection and citation was on October 2024 when he was already ill, and that's the understanding that I have from statements by his ex-wife. And in March of 2024, this case was brought to code enforcement hearing when the property was assessed a fine of $250 a day if didn't bring the property into compliance by March of 2024. Obviously, Mr. D'Amico being ill, he was unable to comply with the requirements, and this property went into this running fines for 500 and I believe it's 540 days. I might be mistaken here, but and then the lien eventually added up to $142,500 with additional $255.70 in administrative fees. As I mentioned, Mr. D'Amico unfortunately passed away in August of 2025, and in his will, he named his former wife as the executor of the estate. Within about a month, she brought the property into compliance, and her name is Melinda Chavani, I believe, or Chavini. And so Ms. Chavini was not aware until she became the executor of his estate that there were this pending on code enforcement issues. So they brought it into compliance, as I already mentioned, and then Ms. Chavini offered a combined settlement to a total of $5,000. That would include the reduced fees and any administrative fees. On October of 2025, a tentative settlement was agreed by the code enforcement and the city manager, obviously contingent on approval by city council. And finally, in November of 2025, in a special magistrate hearing, that recommendation was also approved, and that is what we bring to you this evening. So the recommendation is for the reduction, a reduction for a total of $5,000 from the $142,577.70. And I'm sorry, and the days in violation was 570 days.
All right, thank you, Marcos.
Mm-hmm.
Melinda Chavini.
Hi. Yes, I am Jamie D'Amico's ex-wife.
Can I get your name and address?
Melinda Chavini,
Yes, ma'am.
3892 Covington Drive, but
Thank you.
this is regarding 1512 Connecticut Avenue.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Jamie and I have 3 kids together. He passed away in August. He left me as the executor because we have 3 kids together. Soon as we went over and started looking at the house, the neighbors came over and started telling us that there was code enforcement issues. So we started cleaning up and doing what we could do. We got it all cleaned up in about 15 days or so. I realize the efforts of code enforcement and everything, trying to get Jamie to comply. And I'm not asking for the reduction. to minimize those efforts in any way, but to help with the financial burden this has put on us. It like landed in my lap. I'm a single mom living paycheck to paycheck, and I've had to take on the responsibility of the mortgage, the power, the water bill. Things just keep piling up. After I made the $5,000 offer, we have had to have a termite inspection, and the house has major termite damage, so it has to be tinted now. So any kind of leniency from you guys on all of this would be a tremendous help.
Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you. Would anyone else in the audience like to speak on this item? All right, first I'd like to say, from what I understand, speaking with staff, that this amount covers our administrative costs and then some, correct?
I believe so.
Yes, sir. The city's total administrative costs in this matter are $1,134.99, so this would more than cover that.
All right, thank you. And council comments?
I have one. I'm never been one to lower code violations except for special circumstances. And if you have a single mother with 3 children taking on this burden and responsibility, coming up to the council and saying, listen, I got this in my lap, I'm doing the best I can, I'm raising my children, I'm a citizen of St. Cloud. You know, I normally, you know me, I'm not one in reducing of code and violation, but I'd really like to say, have her pay the $1,300 and God bless her and move on her way. That's me personally, but I'd like to council to consider that, especially during these circumstances in which she acquired the home. I yield back to you, Mayor.
I would second that, just administrative cost only.
All right, can we go ahead and get that total again, Dan?
It's $1,134.99. And if that's the direction of the council, we'd ask that that be paid within 30 days. So if you could, just as part of your motion, include that that amount would be paid within 30 days.
All right, Melinda, can you please come up here real quick? Would you be able to pay that within 30 days?
Yes.
The $1,300 or
Yep.
$1,134.99?
Yes, I'll make it happen.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you guys
All
so
right,
much.
can I
Thank
get a
you.
motion on that?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved to reduce it to $1,134.99. We have a motion from Councilmember Paul.
Second.
Second from Councilmember Urban. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Fletcher?
Aye.
Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, thank you. All right, will the clerk please read item number 2?
Discussion and possible action regarding the selection of deputy mayor.
I guess that's just us.
Yes, sir.
Well, any ideas, folks?
I'd like
Sorry,
to make a motion
I
to,
assumed that I had nothing to do with this item,
right,
so
Marcos.
I apologize.
You're good.
Didn't mean just to
You were
walk
still
away on
standing
you.
there, so I thought you were going to talk to us, man.
I'd like to make a motion to keep Deputy Mayor Gilbert for the full year this year.
All right, we have a motion from Councilmember Urban to retain Deputy Mayor Gilbert as our deputy mayor for the 2026 year.
I was second it.
And we have a second from Councilmember Paul. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher?
Aye.
Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, council.
And will the clerk please read item number 3?
Discussion and possible action regarding council serving on committees and boards of other entities.
I guess we'll run right down the list. Okay, Sean, you are on Education Foundation. Is that, how do y'all want to do this? Anybody have any interest in Education Foundation? Or Sean, did you want to remain in that?
Hello?
I'm sorry, I can't hear. Sean, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you, go ahead.
Would you like to remain on the Education Foundation Board?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're just going to approve the whole slate at the end.
Yes, that's the best way to do it.
Metro Plan, I like Ken on that. He comes back with a lot of information. I don't, if he still likes it, in front of the temperature of the council, yeah?
Yeah, that is a board that we've been working on for 3 years now, and we're making headway. And it's just, there's 27 people on that board and 3 different counties, and you kind of got to grind, and we've been grinding, and I think we're getting results. So I would love to continue if the council so honors me to do so.
I believe you may have an important seat this upcoming year you may want to tell the council about.
Subcommittee is called the MPO, and I'm the chairman.
Really? You could have mentioned that.
Oh.
I mean, we could still give it to you, but that would have been icing on the cake.
Is it in St. Cloud, Will? Thank you.
Yeah. I still enjoy being on the Osceola Chamber, unless y'all have any issue with that. Sean? Is that okay, Sean, that I stay on the Osceola Chamber?
Say that one more time. The Osceola Chamber, you said?
Yes, sir. It's okay that I remain on that?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, thank you. And the Osceola Council on Aging. I'm on that. Does anybody have any interest in that? I will remain on that.
May I step in just for a second?
Yes, sir.
I know there's some committees here that are on different dates and times. Please, if you can't make it or have a conflict, let us know. I think between council, we'll be able to figure that out. There's certain specific dates that they meet on, and my goal, I think the council's goal is to make sure we have representation on each one of these boards and councils. So if we can't, if there's a date conflict and dates conflict, if we could do it now, it'd probably be easier than in the future. Thank you, Mayor. I yield back.
All right. Does anybody have any councils that they sit on or committees that their schedules conflict, where they can't go to the meetings?
Mayor, if I may?
Yes, sir.
If
Councilmember Fletcher.
if another council member was interested in sitting on the Florida League of Cities,
Yes, I would have interest in that, Councilmember Fletcher, if that's okay.
oh, you're, okay. All right, sounds good.
Yeah, if that conflicts with your schedule, I would enjoy that.
Means a tri-legal.
So we're going to skip down and mark that.
That was the Tri-County.
The Tri-County, yeah, it's the Tri-County League of Cities instead of the Florida League, yes. All right, next up, we have the OUC Joint Contract Administrative Committee. We have Councilmember Urban and former Mayor Nathan Blackwell. I'm okay with continuing on if Councilmember Urban is good with that.
Yep, I enjoy sitting on that.
And the
board.
citizen continues on at our will as well.
Kobe, would it be okay if you double check to make sure that his schedule is as the citizen?
You want me to double check with former Mayor Blackwell?
If you could, I just, courtesy maybe?
Yes, yeah, I could
Okay.
get with
Would that
him.
be okay, Mayor?
Staff can reach out to him.
Okay.
So for now, we can appoint it, and if
Yes,
it doesn't
yes.
work out.
Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't missed any,
Okay.
I don't believe.
Yeah, I'm sure he's very qualified and do a great job. Just want courtesy.
Absolutely.
All right, this is a long one. The Policymakers Liaison Committee of the Florida Municipal Power Agency. Councilmember Urban.
Yes, I also enjoy sitting on that board. It's very informative, and I would like to remain there if it's the council's pleasure.
All right, Councilmember Paul, do you enjoy the St. Cloud Chamber of Commerce?
Yes, I think they love me on there, so.
We all love you, Ms. Paul.
I think Betty said she loved us all. She was with the parade. St. Cloud Main Street as well?
And likewise.
right, next up, we have the Tourist Development Council, TDC, and I know Councilmember Gilbert loves this. He's got a passion for that.
Yes.
Just like Metro Plan. So I would recommend he stay if he'd like it, and of course.
Thank you for that. I'm honored to serve if the council so say so.
Councilmember Fletcher, is that okay that Deputy Mayor Gilbert stay on the TDC?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
All right. And then we've got the Water Cooperative of Central Florida. I'll tell you what, I think Colby played Monopoly as a kid. He really likes the
He's
utilities.
got the utilities, doesn't
Yeah.
he? He's got Park Place coming next.
I'm honored to have been appointed as the vice chair of that board for this year, so it's an honor, and I
Very
hope I
cool.
represent the city well.
Congratulations.
That is the Toho Board. Is that correct? Is it the same?
It's a branch of the Toho board that manages the water cooperative, the different projects that they have going on to bring water throughout the region, so.
All right, Colby's the water guy. And the St. Cloud Citizens Foundation, it's not a board or a committee, but I am per the bylaws of that, I'm the chair of that board. The St. Cloud Veterans Advisory Committee, I'm the current chair, but I think we just kicked it off, 4 months ago?
This isn't it for action. We wanted to put additional community boards that you were required
Yeah,
to
those
be
don't
on.
change.
It was just informational.
Okay, and I think after that 1 year, I think it goes to seat 2 and seat 3. I think that's
Yes,
what
sir.
we agreed to. All right, is everybody okay with the slate? Councilmember Fletcher, are you good?
I'm good, thanks, sir.
All right, and can we get a motion on the entire slate of committee appointments?
Motion to approve?
Motion approved, Deputy Mayor Gilbert, second from Councilmember Urban. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher?
Aye.
Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
I'm not going to read it. We have no first readings and introductions at this time, and on to the end. We've got city attorney comments.
I do not have anything, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Yes, sir, thank you. City manager?
Yes, thank you. I have only a few items. Recently, the city council had requested a workshop on Mutter Road. Then the following meeting, we selected Mutter Road as a legislative item. So I'm asking if we still want the workshop or if I can go ahead and cancel it.
I don't think we need it. Do you guys think we need it?
Great, because we have a long workshop list. And I wanted to ask if we could consider starting, this next workshop next week, we are starting earlier because of the length of the discussions that we were going to be having with the 4-H, the EDAC, and the Downtown Business Group. I wanted to ask if the council would consider starting all workshops in the future earlier. We've been starting at 3. Quite often, we're going past 5. I didn't know if maybe the council would like to consider starting at 2 or starting at 1:30, so you could get out earlier, at your pleasure.
This is 3 o'clock next week?
No, next week is 1 o'clock.
And that's already been advertised?
Yes.
Okay, so we're
Yes.
good at that?
Yes,
So you're saying following that?
in the future.
I have no problem with that.
Dan, are there any charter restrictions for our workshop times?
Not for workshop.
Thank you.
When I think the meeting is not charter, I think the meetings are.
Meetings in the rules of conduct.
That's in the rules of conduct, right, that we vote on.
1:30, is that okay? Gives everybody
Oh,
time for lunch?
1:30? Yeah, that's
And-
fine.
Okay, perfect, thank
As
you.
long as Ivy feeds us, we're good to go. We're happy.
And the last, I wanted to share some good news for our Rock in the Cloud event that's coming up on New Year's Eve, because we're not going to have another city council meeting before then. We would like everyone in the community to come. Starts at 7. The headliner is Less Than Jake. And what's exciting this year is Spectrum 13 has worked with the city communication department, and they're going to be at the event all night long doing live spots. So you may be on News 13.
Very
That's all.
cool. All right, Councilmember Paul.
All right, so I have a few things. First, I wanted to see about sponsoring an event in February on the 7th in collaboration with Vice Mayor Edie. As many of you know, that the baseball field at Hopkins Park is named after her dad, so in his honor, they would like to do like a community fun day with some little leagues from Kissimmee, one league from Kissimmee, one from St. Cloud, and just having the children have a baseball day, softball day, and, just bring the community out. It will be with some vendors, different vendors, but just wanted to put that out there. And I would like to, there is a request that I did speak with Veronica about, our city manager. They are in the process of forming a form, so when we have requests, that we can complete it and it will be documented properly versus, emails that get tied up and stuff like that. I just always want to make sure I'm doing things the right way. So once that form gets filled out, I do have a form that's similar to that, but this I'll pass to everyone else. But just would like to, February 7th, 2026, Community Fun Day for David Edie Sr. He does have history involvement here in St. Cloud. He was one of the Little League coaches here. So just wanted to put that out there.
So her dad's last name's Hopkins? That's,
No, her dad's last name is Edie.
oh.
The baseball field at Hopkins is named after him.
Oh, is it, they named the field is named something different than Hopkins
Yes,
Park?
because they would like to get their, his wife, Miss Alice Edie, whoever, everyone knows her in the community, to throw the first pitch. So I know Hopkins will be eventually demolished, so that will probably be like the last, fun day before it gets, demolished, so.
Okay. What are you looking for? Just letting them use
The field
park?
and
Maybe doing
venue.
the joint thing between?
Yes.
Is it the city of Kissimmee coming over here? And
Well, yes, so we can collaborate, just bringing the community together out to have a fun day, so.
I think it'd be great.
We'll be reaching out to some people, see if there are, a little league team that will be willing to participate that day, so.
You can hit a baseball?
I can. I can't run, but I can hit.
I'll be the pinch runner.
Okay.
So if I can, the special event permit application cost is normally $315. The facility rental fee, which is a 4-hour block and only includes one staff member, is $375. We don't know how many people are planning on attending, so I don't know what other additional expenses there would be. Wanted to make sure that if the city council moves forward with this, that you're explaining on the record which fees we're waiving.
Yeah.
But I will bring it back in January once the form is to complete it, so that way everyone on the council can review it, so.
Right. And so city of Kissimmee, they're going to bring people over? Or is it just Angela?
I'm sure she can get people over.
Is it a city of Kissimmee event over in
Well,
St. Cloud, or how do we do
They want to do like I guess, a team from Kissimmee, a team from St. Cloud, and just play against each other, so. But Vice Mayor Edie did say she is willing to help collaborate with this event, so.
Okay.
I think, Mayor, we could do like 2 or 3 innings with city council and staff against Kissimmee City Council and staff.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And what a great community collaboration. That's a great idea, Ms. Paul. It's a great
Yeah.
collaboration.
I can also bring that up to her as well.
And that's the way I look at it, as more of, not us really waiving fees, but kind of coming together and doing a joint event.
And that's the
with
beauty of-
city, and if Commissioner Edie wants to be their representative and you be ours and putting this event together, I'm all in support of that.
Thank you. My second thing is want to say the parade, as in reference to Ms. Betty stated, it was a beautiful community event in St. Cloud. Thank you to the chamber and the volunteers for their hard work. I know it takes a lot putting everything together, so wanted to say thank you for that event. Wanted to also do a follow-up on my trip to Utah. That was an amazing trip. Yes, it was cold for this Florida girl. And also, City of Kissimmee really showed up with their representatives as well. Between the workshops and networking events with other elected officials across the United States, it was just beautiful to see so many elected officials who are, passionate about serving their community. Yes, we all face, similar challenges in the community, but when we all can work together, that's the beauty of it as well. So I really enjoyed it. Next year it will be in Tennessee, so I hope more City of St. Cloud elected officials can represent as well. And lastly, I wanted to see about, currently our city employees, they get a $50 to $100, I guess, incentive in their check. And so this has not been changed since 2011. I would ask the council if we can consider possibly incorporating an increase in the budget next year. And I am open to hear what others have to say on the council as well. So
right now, it's in the budget for $50 per.
Part-time employees receive 50, full-time employees receive 100. If you haven't been here long enough, then I believe you received the $50. Employees have already received it in their paychecks. We always give it to them before the holidays.
I would definitely be open to that. My only concern is, of course, with all of the property tax cut talk at the state level, I know our budget's going to be very constrained in the near future if these things pass. So that does concern me, but as long as our budget allows for it, I want to support our staff any way we can.
I agree. Each year, we have staff that we give bonuses to. Just COLA alone is, in the 14 years, if you do it percentage-wise, has raised quite a bit. I do understand your concerns, Mr. Urban, because we don't know about legislative, so I would like to put that caveat in there also, as long as we have the same budgetary items coming from the state of Florida, to be able to increase it. And increase it in a way of the 11, 12, 14 years of additional. And I know that's a number, but these are the folks that make it happen. You talk about the parade, you talk about the streets, these are the best of the best. They come out every day, Saturday, Sunday, whatever, so I would definitely consider it. Mayor, I don't know how we make sure that the budgetary items from state of Florida with ad valorem and all that, so, but I think it's a great idea, Ms. Paul and Mr. Urban.
Yeah, it's a great idea. So we're talking about for next Christmas. It's a Christmas bonus, is that?
It is there's special wording because of the legislature. I'll let Dan call it the correct word so we don't get in trouble.
The city is authorized to do a extra compensation payment for employees. There's steps you have to follow. As you know, the one that Veronica just mentioned that was paid recently was approved as part of the budget process. There's actually specific language within the budget that approves it, that meets the requirements of the state statute, and so that would have to be done this time. The law requires that that statutory process be followed when you create these sort of programs. They need to be prospective and not retroactive, so you obviously have to do it well before you're going to do the extra compensation on it. You do not have to do it as part of your budget process. You can essentially do it anytime you want. You feel comfortable doing that. You do not have to do it as sort of an end of the year thing. You can do it then too. So there's options to be able to do it that way too.
Okay, so we can wait till session and find out what happens.
And our budget,
if everybody feels comfortable with that.
our budget process, we have a workshop usually in June, July, and that's usually when we bring you a prepared budget, and we will plan on assuming nothing happens with the legislature, including that. And that's the workshop where we discuss the proposed COLA, we discuss all of those raises at that time.
Okay.
So it's clear direction. We will include an increase.
Is that good, Councilmember Paul?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Councilmember Urban.
Thank you. Mr. Gordon brought up the hotel earlier. I know we had a lengthy discussion at our CRA meeting about the hotel, so I'm not going to rehash all of that, but I also had a discussion with our city attorney earlier this week during my staff briefing, and I know he is pursuing that. Yeah, I'm going to make it my personal mission at every single council meeting to aggressively pursue this until this is resolved. It's an absolute travesty to our city and to our downtown area. And it's my understanding that there's a special magistrate hearing in January.
January 21st.
So we hope to have some further guidance and answers after that, and we'll look forward to learning more. And just also wanted to say, the Christmas parade on Saturday was just an absolutely amazing turnout. It's my favorite day in the city of St. Cloud to see so many out there in the community. As Ms. Dampke said, it's everybody comes together that day, and it's really great. So with that, I just wanted to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and very thankful for all the staff who work so hard throughout the year to make our jobs easier. So just wanted to thank everybody and wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
All right, and Councilmember Fletcher.
I just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Have a awesome New Year, and that's all I have.
And Deputy Mayor Gilbert.
Well, 2025 blew by. That was crazy. I'd like to thank the council, the staff, the citizens for a very productive 2025. I truly believe we can get better each year because you either go forwards or backwards. But I think the effort was put in by this council here, and I'm honored that you listened to my words, that we worked together, that I listened to you, and I hope 2026 is even better through our continuity that we have here as a council, and I appreciate you guys very much, and just want to say that, and a Merry Christmas. And then also the staff, we can't do without the staff. The Christmas tree lighting, the parade, every day, it's just a great place to live. It's just, do you see the smiling face? We have some differences, we have some work we can do, and we'll continue to do that. But I love St. Cloud. I love that my family's here. I love living here, and I'm proud to be St. Cloud. So I just want to say thank you to the staff, which doesn't get enough recognition that's out there mowing the lawns, getting the trash up, cleaning a 15,000 person parade with, I know the mayor, I think I hit him a couple times and he hit me a couple times. There's candy everywhere.
You sat on my chocolates, Kim.
I sat on his chocolates too. But I'm there to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and just remember Jesus is the reason for the season, and God bless you all, and I look forward to working with you guys in 2026. Yield back, Mayor.
Yes, sir. Yep, amazing Christmas parade. The festival downtown, Rotary Club did an amazing job with that. Staff did an amazing job with the parade. You know, we look forward to it every year. And of course, the staff at City Hall dressed us up like elves, which I appreciate. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. So, no, thank you all. Yeah, I do hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I know Rockin' the Cloud's going to be a great event, and I know our police department and our fire department's going to keep everybody safe during that event. So everybody come on out to that. This Sunday, we're going to resume Soldier City Sundays. We took a break last week on Sunday because of the Christmas festival. We're going to resume that this Sunday, and I want to give a shout out. David Castler has been working his tail off on that from Solid Waste. So he's been a big help and coming out there every single Sunday so far. All right, and with that, we have our information section. We have the reports, warrant list number 2, fiscal year 26. Friday, December 12th, 2025, we have the employee holiday luncheon. City offices will be closed from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Thursday, December 18th, 2025, City Council workshop, 1 p.m. at St. Cloud Community Center. Wednesday, December 24th, 2025, city offices closed in observance of Christmas Eve. Thursday, December 25th, 2025, city offices closed in observance of Christmas Day. Thursday, January 1st, 2026, city offices closed in observance of New Year's Day. And Thursday, January 8th, 2026, we have our next city council meeting, hopefully in new council chambers, 6:30 p.m. at City Hall Council Chambers. And with that, this meeting is adjourned.